much close as we can in terms of assumptions and legit proof or facts. That's how we could realize that Fonnie Willis and them probably threw out the interrogation tape of Woody. I think they were realizing Woody was feeding them a little bit of bullshit and also, kind of backpedaling or kind of double dutching on cooperating. And one of the things they did was they threw out that tape, because in every other situation, you protect that witness until they get on the stand. Now, granted, we couldn't find Woody for a while, but the interrogation videos clearly made it known that he would be the snitch. And in this particular case, as a Fed case, which is going to be a lot clearer than Fulton County, we don't know who the cooperants are. So they have mentioned a few of those things, that they have witnesses and also cooperants, but we don't know who yet. So they're laying out what they're going to do, and in them laying it out, they have now identified that the music is going to be a part of it. So let's kind of read some of these last documents here. In support of dismissal, here we go. Here we go. Bingo. All right, perfect. So this is what the government filed, because there's another motion to so this is a government response to the defendant's Durk Banks' supplemental brief in support of his motion to exclude proposed evidence. So remember, they're going to be battling back and forth on what should be allowed in the trial. If we go back to other trials, in the YSL trial, they had to figure out what songs could be played, how it could be played. In the Tory trial, could y'all mention the fact that he has a gun tattoo here? Could you talk about his, criminal history? And the judge in that case said, if Tory takes the stand, it's fair game. If Tory doesn't take the stand, you can't bring it up. So in pretrial, you're going to get rules of engagement. That's kind of what pretrial is for. Hey, listen, don't hit below the belt. Keep your hands up all times. Protect yourself. It's like the boxing match, right? So these are motions that you're going to file to make sure that both parties are clear on what could be allowed. And in pretrial, you usually could get a real sense of the case without cooperants, right? Now, I did tell y'all that this case is going to be mostly about cooperants, but let's kind of go over their brief. And this is is this in the appellate court? Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Oh, it's just a supplemental brief. Okay. So it's not. When I hear brief, I usually think you submit briefs with an appeal, but this is a brief for a motion, right? So the motion is to get some certain stuff out of there, right? And I think Durk's team is thinking this. They want to lock Durk up based on what he was saying in raps. It kind of matches certain things. He said no. He said no. He said no, and go. And people think that song is referring to the death of Lil Pop, where infamously videoed is Quando Rondo screaming no, right? So they think that the songs match certain stuff, and they think that's not evidence that he did it, but it's kind of evidence how brazen he was and how reckless he was with carrying across these tasks, okay? And, you're like, yo, I want the one I want, not the one, get me to kill the nigga I want. That's the one I paid for, or whatever the case is. Anyway, so they're now telling what songs they're going to specifically use. And it's the first time we're now seeing the government lay out their case in what they're going to use. So at the court's discretion, the government provided defendants with additional disclosure related to excerpts of a music video and lyrics the government intends to use at trial. These are the music submissions. So there's something called music submissions. The disclosure set forth specifically and narrowly. And the reason why they're saying narrowly is that you can't broadly just use lyrics. Right? So if Durk was like, yo, we spin and we spin again, that could be about anybody, or it could be just fake. It could be just hyperbolic. So they're trying to show narrow lyrics and videos. They said the disclosure is going to be 12 songs. So they're trying to use 12 songs, 9 music videos, and 3 audio files. They said they're relevant and they're material to disputed issues in this case. For example, the government intends to introduce a small portion of defendant Banks' risque music video that premiered 2 months after the murder. Okay? Let's see Lil Durk risky. Now, let's try to read the lyrics before we actually look at the video, because maybe they're just playing the video for the lyrics. Keep a switch on me in case these niggas hate and try to switch on me. Fuck who you is. You try to play them games. I don't show sympathy. Won't hit none of the bros, hoes, them bitches on tempting me. My fingers hurt. Demon on my ops. I don't got energy. But, bitch, it's macaroni time. Tell my ops to post they shit and they close friends. They all dying. All my ops the same. Every time they caught, they ass whining. All that shit y'all said in the booth that build careers ain't nothing slime. That's my block. Every gun I keep on me. Oh, okay. Ask the ops every time they see my face. They sugarfoot. Give me props. Gave my block them turkey bangs. Woodawook. How do you say his name? I never. Wood the cook? No. Wooka duck? Wooka duck? Just Freesa. You know shorty ass gonna rob. I get you took, nigga. Let your seat up. Hop out the dome. Okay, let your seat up, bro. Hop out. Hit his dome. Hop out. Get him going. Hop out. Do him wrong. Just prepare. You on your feet. You better not drop your phone. Tap that switch. Don't use it fully. You might have to see his bros. Little bro jammed up for a body. He ain't gonna change his clothes. I say, when you chase him, what you see? He said he chases soul. Get on his ass. He ain't gonna be easy. He chasing hoes. Stand over him. That's the last thing he see. That's my favorite pose. Jesus Christ. Durk was on timing. Why you running? Got your gun. So you let him die? I come from a block. You catch a op. You hit him 20 times. Catch a nigga. Oh, you let a slide? We make a shooter cry. Can't be around my dog. I still risk it. I know Zoo will drive. We tell him bro and them. Chill. Don't gotta speed. It's like an Uber ride. Pull up on my side. Got 2 Drakes. This shit like suicide. Speed on the E-way off them pills. You don't know who crashed. Backdoor all across the city. You know the guy. You don't know who the guys, nigga. Grab your blick. Okay, all right. I'm not doing lyric read for everything, but I'm just trying to see where the government is trying to go with this, right? Grab your blick, bro. You ain't never gave me shit. You're my big bro. Ask if I'm lying. I gave him Hellcats and pistols. I gave my bitch my heart. Welcome to death row, bitch. Yeah. You ain't gonna die about your dog, but you gonna die about a bitch, man. You better shoot your gun until it's gone, then it click. We gonna get it on. I'm with you right or wrong. That's what it is. You a fraud. What's in your cup? That's melatonin? Ain't no drink. Got my track hard bulletproof and a supercharged. This ain't no tank. How you gonna vouch for a nigga who ain't never killed shit? His ass ain't got no rank. Catch a op, but you lucky it's Ramadan. Hold on, I got a prayer. Oh shit. Okay. Is that? Oh, why did I even read it? So they're saying it contains lyrics where defendant Banks describes catching and shooting an op. All right. Here is some other stuff that so Banks' team is saying it's hyperbole, it's art, and using them as prejudicial. So Banks is saying that the prosecutor is saying, their filing just admits that the defendants did not credibly dispute the relevance of the omissions or meaningfully address or distinguish any case the government has cited in multiple filings addressing the admissibility of the music submissions, nor could they. The music admissions that the defendants Banks and Wilson have made go to the heart of this trial are admissible under relevant case law. As described below, the lyrics show that defendants and uncharged co-conspirators, oh wow, chat, uncharged co-conspirators, wow, uncharged co-conspirators. That's the snitches, but I would think they would be charged, but it would be sealed. Or maybe they could say uncharged. I guess technically they would be lying. Because there's no way they're snitching and they don't have a charge. Right? They got to have a charge, right? Whatever. Anyway, uncharged co-conspirators operated as a gang targeting ops. They show defendant Banks was a leader of OTF who uses money for violence. I pay rent. They're my shooters. They show defendant Banks admitting that he's the type to hop on a flight with a warrant, as he tried to do in this case. And they show defendant Banks rewarded alleged hitmans in this case by, among other things, placement and participation in music videos that were released in months following SR's killing. These admissions are relevant and material to the core disputed issues the jury will need to decide on when determining who killed SR, and the reason the hitman stalked and attempted to execute Quando in a busy street in Los Angeles. Moreover, the defendants are moving parties here and bear the burden to show their overbroad relief. Exclusion of all lyrics and music evidence is warranted. They have failed to do so. The government respectfully requests that the court deny the motion and rule that the excerpts of music admissions will be admitted. The music admissions are relevant, material, and admissible for numerous reasons, each of which is well supported by case law. The excerpted admissions show the co-conspirators' criminal relationships and background of development of this murder conspiracy, including Banks and OTF's rivalry with Bowman. Okay. So they're saying the lyrics, repeated assaults, probative, giving the defendants repeated assaults on the credibility of the government's principal witnesses who testified about his control over co-conspirators. They would help. Oh, so they're saying the lyrics will help explain this. They'll help explain the reason defendant Banks and the co-conspirator would kill Quando and show how and why the hitman flew across the country in search for a reward for killing him. Okay. All right. Then it says, contrary to the defendant's claim about admissibility of lyrics in music videos, it's well supported by case law. As discussed above in the government's prior filings, courts routinely permit the government to introduce evidence like music admissions in conspiracy and gang cases. Okay. Defendants, however, assert that the music admissions should be treated differently and wholesale excluded because of the evidence amounts to art and poetry. These arguments have been rejected by multiple courts and appeals. For example, all right, they name a few things. So cool. All right, so they're naming a bunch of case law. All right. Okay. For example, okay. The district court admitted that. Okay. So that's also. Okay. So they're mentioning another case that they did use lyrics. So they're using lyrics as motive and also proof of MO, which is modus operandi. Okay, all right, let's get back to Durk. They're mentioning other cases. We want to hear about Durk. The court reasoned, all right, okay, cool. All right. Okay, so they're saying lyrics is part of their core argument. And by the way, thank you for the five. Somebody said during the war chart. I'm going to go read that eventually. Thank you guys for all the donations and subbing up for the membership. It says, indeed, defense counsel rebuked that one central witness is a documented liar and a manipulator and a fraud to the highest order. So the case that the defendant do cites are inapplicable. Okay, all right, cool. The music admissions are narrowly tailored and relevant on their face. Rather than grapple with the actual text of the government's proposed music admissions, the defendant seeks to categorically exclude everything, basically. But the plain text of the admissions show otherwise, and here are the particular statements. So they're not breaking it down for the judge. Admissions defendants, Banks, and OTF had motive for seeking revenge. It says, these are the lyrics. It said, they be on my page like slide for Vaughn. I know they trolling me. Got it back in blood. Y'all don't know. That's how it's supposed to be. I hope they got good speakers in court. I can't wait to hear that shit. Chat, by the way, should I go to the hearing? Should I go to the trial? That is a possibility. This is in April, and I don't know if it will get pushed back even further. There are some people who are in support of it getting pushed back, but the government the judge is actually really with the idea of let's get it on some DMX shit, right? Banks also says, don't respond to shit with Vaughn. I'm like, fuck it, you tripping. Go get your gun. They dropping locations? I'm getting it. I'm getting it done. Fuck tweeting. We sliding. The feds are coming. Banks also said, we ain't trying to peace with them boys. I pay rent. They're my shooters. And it says, I don't want no niggas. Oh, okay. I don't want no niggas who you catch. I want the one. And I think it's going to say, I paid for. Trolling ass. We shot your homie. That's going to be... especially if they take that out of context, right? Pop in traffic, we in Cali, riding through Beverly Hills with choppers, bounty hunter. For the niggas who carry, I'll buy him $50K in guns. Got Didi with me? Threat? No. Big threat. Block war. I got Didi with me. He a block boy. Hot boys. Got so many guns, we feel like Glock boys. And then Wilson, which is OTF Didi, he says, whatever you with, I'm with. Hop in a car with the gang, then you know it's all pressure. The members pop out with the switches, and you know they all extra. Knock them off so close. OTF, we don't do no long distance. Brain missing, so now you know a nigga top off 10K just to get a nigga knocked off. They're also saying they're going to use Rumors by Gucci Mane. Okay. Schoom his ass. I think these are the songs. Go by Lil Durk and Block is Hot. And okay. And there's a couple more. They're using Wilson. We got time to slide. The only thing we ducking is the Jakes. Grab the Glock. It ain't no safety. All my niggas, they fighting cases. Murder ones, they beating the state. I done masked up with gorillas, 100 shots up in them sprinters. If he died, that's what he get. 100 shots dumped in his whip. I take pride in doing hits. Go and slide and do a blitz. Your homie died because we ain't miss. Oh, wow. But that's DD again. And they said the admissions was striking similarity to the conduct in this case. We spin the block and we pop the car. I'm on his ass. I hate to wait. I never heard of dude. Only time I heard was on the news. Okay. We don't shoot out cars, phone them hopping out, hawk you down, and I'm close enough to ask that nigga how his chopper sound. Okay, these are some other songs. They're using Popeyes by Duty Low and OTF Didi. They're using Go and Big Threat. And they're using this. And said Banks says before they spin, told him get they blicks and get they tints darker. Go, fool his ass. He think we buying some cars. We hop out, school his ass. Fool his ass. He ain't paying attention to this car because we got Uber tags. Interesting. Wait, what song is this again? I forgot. They're going to say 18. Did that song ever come out fully? Or was it on release? Lil Durk. School his ass. Oh, it did come out. No, it's on. Yeah. That's relevant is that apparently in the vehicle that was stalking, and I don't know if you guys remember these photos of cars, Lil Durk, Lil Pop. The cars that were stalking these cars right here, I believe Didi and them was in one particular vehicle. And there was a fucking Uber. There was like a car service like tag on one of these. I can't remember. I think it was this car or this car. Okay. So that's why prosecutors saying it kind of matches what happened, right? Now, obviously, you could be like, bro, that's just something popular we rapped about. Like, what the fuck? Anyway. All right. And then it says, I'm the type to hop on a flight with a warrant. You got to catch me. Okay. The visual depiction in the excerpt of music videos are also material. So they're saying we don't only need the song. We need to play the music video in the trial. They're saying the music video is going to prove the co-conspirators' relationships and involvement in the murder scheme. And saying in addition to verbal admissions, the music admissions contain key verbal depictions that are, number one, is going to provide necessary context to rap lyrics, which is like photographs depicting Davon Bennett, aka King Von, while the defendant raps about killing his rivals or his ops, which shows a relationship and connection with the co-conspirators involved in the murder scheme. So they're saying they were sliding for Von, right? Proves the downstream benefits rewarded from da-da-da-da. Okay, cool. All right. What else? Is that, for example, multiple music videos posted online after the murder depicted the co-conspirators with prominent visuals paying homage to Bennett, whose killing in 2020 prompted the attempt to kill Quando. Another video shows the defendant, Wilson, wearing a conspicuous OTF chain, rapping, "We don't shoot out cars, phone them hopping out and hawk you down, and I'm close enough that nigga to ask that nigga how does chopper sound." Such visual depictions are therefore highly probative of the key relationship that the government must prove at trial. Okay, cool. There's a little bit more. Let me see. There's something about payment, and I think this is probably the last part here, chat. I know I told you this would take a little bit quicker than it did. Defendant's argument that the probative nature of the lyrics, right, is extremely low, and it's impossible to differentiate between facts and fiction between the lines of the song. It diminishes the jury's role. So basically, they're saying that, listen, maybe it is fake, but maybe it's real. We shouldn't be deciding that. The jury should, and the jury should hear it. Okay? As the Ninth Circuit has made clear, the defendants' own out-of-word admissions surmount all objections based on hearsay rule, and they're admissible. So it means, yo, we could take it. If you admitted to doing some shit, we could take that and we could use it against you. All right. At the bottom, now excerpts from music videos and lyrics the government selected are material and necessary for the jury to understand and resolve. Okay, babe. For pain for violence. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's their submission. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna look at this other one. Let me see. Who is this? This is Drew Finland. Okay, this is Finland. Can I not search? Just give me 1 second. Okay. There is I can't find it or what documents in, but there is reports that's saying that Lil Durk supposedly paid for a murder, or probably those murders, with diamond grills, which is, that's kind of like, you know what I mean? Imagine killing somebody to get diamond grills. That's kind of like ridiculous, right? Let's see if I can find the document here. Okay, here it goes. According to this, All right. Hold on. Okay, give me 1 second. That's a grainy picture. I want to get the real thing. Durk. Sorry, chat. So this whole thing is that Durk was buying these guys grills. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, that's some crazy shit, right? Like, details of this is like, imagine you kill somebody and he pays you with a diamond grill. Is this it? 30, no. To exclude, supplemental. Okay, this might be it. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Perfect. So in this, it says defendant bank's use of coded language, which is like, it makes anyone who killed Bowman straight. So they're further saying that what they're going to be proven in court is that Durk was talking about the murder. Remember I said that, you know, it's going to be tough if they don't have Durk dead to rights. And it's looking like they don't got Durk dead to rights saying, yo, did you kill, yo, y'all need to go kill him and I'll give you $1 million. There's nothing that's straight. So they're going to be using a lot of experts that are supposedly, you know, in tune with street lingo, Chicago lingo. They're going to bring gang experts. They're going to be, you know, using people who are kind of like, you know, kind of interpret to the audience and say when these type of words are said, it's meant to mean this. So apparently Durk Bank's use of coded language, which is he would make someone straight for anybody who killed him to communicate the bounty, plainly satisfy the quid pro quo requirement of the murder for hire, right? So apparently they have something, right? Definitely more than just co-conspirators saying Durk said it, but they got to have something where Durk's like, yo, I'm going to make you straight, right? And obviously Durk's going to argue like, bro, no, like this dude, you know, worked security for us or he did something for us legally. And that's what we're going to be talking about, right? Okay. The words as consideration for do not strict import the solicitor and the hitman of payment in exchange for murder. So they're kind of, this filing was to kind of, Durk's lawyers are still trying to pick at the, or stab at this murder for hire charge saying, you guys don't even have enough evidence to go forward to prove that this guy did a murder for hire. They're saying they do. The words consider, okay, it doesn't, but instead require a clear mutual agreement between the solicitor and the hitman of payment of murder. The nature, breadth, and also the context of the defendant bank's promises includes the downstream economic benefits that the co-conspirators receive following the murder. Indeed, the statutory language of that sweeps in anything of value and the primary significance. And let me keep going. This broadly applies to currency, drugs, weapons, or anything else that's quantifiable in monetary value. They then continue that says, whatever. Okay. This court concluded that the jury instructed the jury that not only money, but drugs, guns, or an involvement in future crimes would yield cash profits can also constitute consideration under whatever. And for that reason, defendant bank's contention that grills, so they're saying defendant bank's contention that grills for rewards for a certain co-conspirator falls outside. So the government is trying to say Durk paid his shooters in grills. And Durk's team would say, nah, you can't use that. You got to show money. So this idea of murder for hire, it's been disputed in courts many, many times before. Is it murder for hire if I buy you a car? Some people, well, the courts have ruled it's still murder for hire if I don't give you cash, but I buy you a car. It's still the exchange of goods that has monetary value. So essentially, if you get anything of value, That's like paying cash. And that's basically the premise. So the government is saying, Durk's team tried to do a routine like, hey, you can't prove there probably is no transactions in there where Durk has paying for the murder. Or maybe like there's reasonable enough doubtful transactions in there. Maybe Durk has somebody on payroll and be like, no, he has a record contract with me. He gets this every quarter. He does security for me. He gets paid this. Nothing of these payments through a legitimate business is actually for murder. So they're saying that it goes beyond just cash payments. It goes to gifts. And some of the gifts are supposedly jewelry. Okay? Jewelry. And he gave them the jewelry to make them straight, follow the murder. Okay. Now, there is some talks of money. Here we go. We're going to read up a little bit further. Here detail, okay, in the superseding indictment 1, together with the government's substantial and organized discovery, it obviates the need for the bill of particulars because they provided clear notice to the defendants of the government's murder for hire theory. The government has alleged, and its discovery clearly supports, the straightforward theory that defendant Banks told co-conspirators he would reward anyone who helped kill his rival, Taekwon Bowman, aka Quando Rondo, that defendant Banks and other OTF conspirators attempted the murder in LA on that day. And even though co-conspirators did kill SR and not Bowman, Banks nonetheless rewarded the co-conspirators by, among other things, featuring many of their direct participants in the murder in music videos and rap lyrics in the months following the murder. For example, the government anticipates that a cooperating witness, will testify that defendant Banks made clear to the witness and other OTF members that anyone who killed Taekwon Bowman will be made straight. So that's what the snitch is going to say. The person who's going to cooperate is going to say, yo, Durk told me I was going to be made straight. Now, it's kind of interesting here. They're not saying that this cooperating witness is also somebody that's involved in music, but they're also saying it's not only being on somebody's track. They're saying these guys could be in the background of a video. Now, if we go to Ha Ha, right? Wait, Ha Ha was before, right? Ha Ha, when did that drop? Let's find the video, right? Yeah, that dropped before. Because
Cherry Production.
Lil Pop died in August 2022, and this dropped on February. I don't know if you can see it. February 2022. So yeah, they're even the lyrics from here that they're doing and said don't respond to shit with Vaughn. They're saying those lyrics is not proof of murder; it's proof of motive, right? So that's why they want to use the lyrics. But let me go back to this. They're saying the cooperating witness is going to testify. He made clear they'll be made straight. Now, what's most likely going to happen, y'all? It's like, and I want to go down to Chiracology, which, by the way, I got to imagine the feds and the FBI people, they're definitely on Chiracology, right? They're saying that, like, putting a nigga in the back of a music video would be a reward. Like, say one of these guys slid for Durk would put them in a music video, like, might be a thing to get your clout up. Some of these guys supposedly were aspiring musicians. If you're in Durk's music video, they claim even being in the video is of monetary value. There's value to being in the video, which is kind of interesting, right? Okay, all right. So the discovery shows that the defendant Banks used his trusted lieutenants, which is Didi. Remember I told you, the government really wants Didi to flip. But that's why Didi's taking a strategy of, yo, what this shit got to do? If y'all think I did something, what this shit got to do with Durk? And that's the proper way to play it, because the murder for hire falls apart if Durk's not involved. But it kind of falls apart if you supposedly didn't go recruit people for murder. So they're playing at both angles, but those two people are really important. And you're not going to see, it's like co-conspirator 5. What we're going to see, like, you know who I think this is? The cooperating witness. It says you're going to be made straight. You know who I think that is? I think that's Vonnie, honestly. I hate to like kind of say it now, but I think it is Vonnie. I think it's Vonnie and co-conspirator 4 who gave the drop, the Crip who gave the drop out of LA. I think that's them in terms of being promised things. Anyway, let's continue. The discovery also showed the defendant Banks uses trusted lieutenants. Okay, we read that already. Let's get here. Consistent with defendant Banks' promise to reward co-conspirators, defendant Wilson solicited hitmen. So now, remember, so this is now, I believe, co-conspirator. Is it 2? Yeah, this is 2. So 2 is going to testify to this because one of the shooters is a snitch. They're not named. They're just listed as co-conspirator 2. They're the ones who are going to be able to testify. Yo, Didi recruited me to kill the guy, and he promised me, as you hear what prosecutors are saying, $1 million. So they're saying Banks was going to pay $1 million in exchange for it. So in exchange for flying to L.A. to commit the murder. Keep in mind, co-conspirator 2, which we don't know his name, the 3 shooters, I forgot they're the 2, they're known, and they haven't switched yet because they're filing motions with Durk. So you could tell they're Team Durk. Or they haven't snitched on Durk yet, clearly, because Durk's lawyer and their lawyers are working together, or basically together because they're doing joint motions, or they're supporting a memorandum. However, co-conspirator 2, which we never saw, there's one shooter who never got named. That's the snitch. That's the guy who's going to say, and Didi told me this. Now, we've talked about it so much. Durk's escape out of this rat trap, and no pun intended on the rat trap thing, is the idea that the shooter never spoke to Durk. And you would imagine if Durk is using a middleman, Durk never spoke to the shooter. Durk allegedly told Didi, go get some niggas, not gonna handle it. The shooters is talking to Didi. They know Didi be with Durk. Didi tells him, Smirk got $1 million for y'all. But there's no conversation with Smirk. Okay? So it says Wilson solicited them, and they were going to get paid this for doing it. Okay. Moreover, the government has also disclosed a list of defendant Banks, music videos. Okay, cool. There we go. There we go, people. Okay, that's the latest on the Durk thing. As we get closer to April, I will keep you guys in the loop. I'll keep you guys in the loop. Okay. All right, chat. Are you locked and loaded with me? Did you fall asleep? I know sometimes when I get to the reading, I should have probably put the reading to later. Did y'all fall asleep on me? Is the chat here? Let me do a little wellness check. It's time to read donations real quick. I will read donations. Chat, remember, if you guys are rocking with me tonight, we're really behind on topics. I got about 3 more hours to go to really get to everything. So if you got somewhere to go, I know it's a Saturday night. Tell me the update on the fight. We'll check on it too. But we gotta do shop. There's a lot of things to talk about. Y'all good? Let me see. I'm gonna check all the chats real quick. Let me go check King Akademiks chat. How are y'all doing? And yes, this is the intermission. Go put this shit in the microwave because we're about to get to the Epstein stuff right after this, okay? So go get your food in the microwave, get the DoorDash popping. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get like 5 minutes ahead from your girl, you could do that. Got a 5-minute intermission right now, right? Or not really, but you know, I'm just doing a chat checkup. By the way, I will say, I don't know if you guys are still up. Hold on. Okay. So cool. So, just to be clear. Oh, by the way, we have an astounding. We have 17,000 people in here. Clap it up on a Saturday night. There's a fight going on. Salute to you guys, man. I ain't gonna lie. The chat nigga community, you guys are amazing. Oh, another thing which I did not mention. I want to give an announcement. Miami. I am coming there on March, was it 28th or 27th? I think it's the 28th. Whatever that Friday is, which one of those dates. The tickets are going on sale Monday at 3 p.m., y'all. So the tickets for my live event are going on sale Monday at 3 p.m. If you're wondering what am I gonna do live, we're gonna do a little bit of comedy, a lot of this is a chat nigga event. You know what I mean? Eventually, I'll do like a festival or something like that. So I'm really not I'm gonna bring people, but this is for us. I'm gonna do a little bit of comedy, or maybe kind of host, do a little bit. I'm gonna have some other people there. I'm gonna also start rolling out the people that will be there, and they will be as well billed. So we're starting to try to do events, and this event I expect one, maybe two other comedians to join us on stage, and probably a music performance. Actually, a music performance and two other comedians. I'm gonna announce later on. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. So let me go check up on King Akademiks. What we got going on over here? K-Flock's attorney. Hey, we need to file an appeal, brother. He says, I got so much weed for stream tonight. Go until 6 a.m., brother. Okay, all right, bet. Well, don't weed make you like sleepy? Weed don't make you sleepy? By the way, Sky High Grad, thank you for the 5 gifted membership earlier. That boy ass, thank you for the 3 Canadians, says, Talk Kanye, he's back, and he is the GOAT. We're going to add him to our list. Chat, with the amount of topics we got going on tonight, I don't know if I'm getting off stream. This is we got an... Again, I need 2 hours for this Epstein thing that's coming up next. So 2 hours. We're getting in deep. Pause. Really, pause. Okay. Yano says, don't pull a J. Cole and back out the fight. No, it's the exact opposite. I think Lil Baby's trying to talk his way out the fight. He's trying to, I don't know necessarily what his angle here is. I think the time, with all due respect, I'm not a gangster, and my tone's a little bit different tonight. Obviously, I was kind of upset that somebody gave me their word, and then it felt like they just lied to me, and I felt like he manipulated me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I really think Lil Baby kind of that's why I said I got backdoored by 2 people, Ty Lil, and we got backdoor Ty, right? Backdoor Ty, and then we got Lil Baby, right? And I just think. Obviously I don't know these guys like that, but I think it's just flat out pussy for Lil Baby to talk to me on the phone as a man, right? Initiate a talk about us becoming, having whatever truce, and then send in his little condom store getter or store runner to do something, and then basically act like he didn't know what's going on, but he didn't at least check the dude on it, even though he's claiming he did, but he couldn't have, because if somebody's doing something in your name and you checked him, the dude would never be online like just freely acting like he don't give a fuck. So basically, you're either he think you a bitch, I already think you a bitch now. He either think you a bitch or you're just not that guy. Right? Or you never checked him in the first place. Regardless, I'm not here to play like Jeopardy, right? I'm not here to eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Like, yo, fuck it. So this is it just kind of has officially got me to the point. So let's box. Like, we try to do this privately. Let's box. We could get some money, whatever the case. It's not even really about money because I was down fighting for free. But, this is to me pulling this card. Let's see if you really that pussy. Because I lost a lot of respect for him. And I really do think at this point, most of these guys, they're really nothing without, these crash dummies they could send out. You get to a point where you start looking at these rappers a little bit different. Like, this guy's a stone cold pussy, right? Like, why would you have to lie to Akademiks that you could, And here's the thing, too. And this is the last thing. I'm not trying to, really dig back into it. Because I know some people who dislike me, their narrative is, yes, didn't I tell you? You keep talking shit. Something was going to happen. Well, if that was the goal, that I'm supposed to be in fear that something could happen, and it finally happened, which obviously didn't, but some people, oh, you did something. Well, if the goal should have been, now you're going to shut the fuck up. No, the goal is now I'm going to be speaking even 20 times more. So the goal has failed. So we're trying to figure out this idea that, oh, okay, so maybe if you scare Ak, he'll just stop talking. No, I think when you try to do something, I'll talk even more. So whatever remedy I got, I don't think it's working, but I'm pretty sure I'll do whatever mental gymnastics to flip it. Okay, cool. Thank you, Hemi Lifestyle. Thank you for the 9 months, man. That's my guy, man. It's one of my mods on King Academics. That's my boy right there. So thanks for going live, bro. I love you, gang, and I love y'all too, chat. Even the haters that clip him. Hey, I love the Clippers. We gotta love the Clippers. Sometimes I see a clip of me and might not be my favorite clip, but fuck it, I said it. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for 15 years. You take good and bad. Mr. Chronicles, he says, show J. Cole some love, bro. Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is a runner show. Let me bump up J. Cole. We got to get to J. Cole. I'm going to bump the immediate run of show. We're doing Epstein, Jay-Z, Pusha T, or possible teen, joke. Then we're getting to J. Cole bars breakdown. And then we're getting to, what is this? We are getting to, what did I just say? Not Kanye. Was it Kanye? Kanye. Yeah. Kanye. Was it that? Or maybe it was something else. Okay. Anyway. All right. So after the Epstein thing, we'll break down J. Cole bars, and then we'll talk about Kanye and his concert that went down. And let me just delete a couple of these things off of my list. Let me see if I could work through tonight. By the way, if you guys have any topics that you guys do want me to talk about, maybe something that, I kind of like skirted over, I am very happy to get into it if we have time. Okay, so we got NLE Chopper. That's not that important. Okay. Kevin Gates and Brittany Renner. Okay, that's kind of the same type of thing. Man-woman drama. We got Javante, Fabio versus 21 Savage, and also Ruga dropping a diss track, and Jay Prince, and then 50 Cent versus Christian Combs, and him commenting on the Jay-Z stuff, and Nicki Minaj with the green card. I feel like that Nicki Minaj green card topic was really big, but some things drowned it out. Or maybe it is that big. It is that big because a lot of people really felt the way about Nicki, right? All right, I'll bump Nicki up. Nicki, gold card Trump. Got that. Okay, so after these donations, again, there's a 5-minute break or with me reading these, and then we're hopping to this Epstein stuff. Okay, great. Mr. Chronicles TV says, we're smoking on that Rock Nation pack. All February. Free Tory Lanez. Okay. By the way, you seen Tory drop some new music? Shout out to Tory, man. Tory's current release date, I believe, is 2028, which is 2 years from now, or I think it's like late 2028 or 2029. So, he's going to be out before 2030. And I know, obviously, we're looking at like, that's a hell of a long time, but he's not going to be locked up forever. And, I still haven't gotten a clear answer on if he's 100% going to be deported. The answer seems to be supposedly, but we've seen a lot of things happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tory right now would be fucking trying to get a gold card from Trump. Like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine if Tory gets a gold card from Trump where, again, if Tory gets out of jail before Trump leaves office, you never know. Tory could score the, hey, yes, I'm a felon, but ICE ain't bringing me back to Toronto to be, to ride the Metro, TTC joints. You feel me? Like I'm gonna be on West. I ain't gonna be on Western Road chilling. I'm gonna be back in Miami, fucking all the hotties. So I think that's the thing, right? So I think there's a road to redemption or not deportation for Tory, and we'll get into that another time. Okay, back to now we're at the Academy. So the Academy, love to you guys. By the way, I'm not gonna lie. Since we've kind of exploded in the news recently, the Academy has returned to number 2 in views. King Academics has taken over, and I think there's some new viewers. That's why. Let me read the donations over here. Usually really active with donations, but we'll get to it. Star Status Chris, thank you for the 10 gifted. Hollow Dreams, thank you for becoming a member. 24 Kobe 88 says, Ak, we were worried about you. We thought the Pill Bandit. Who's the Pill Bandit? Or is that Le Bebe? Come on now. Hey, listen, chat. I have the utmost belief that this, combat is going to happen, this physical, competition. And again, I think this would be really good to show the hip hop community that despite whatever is said, we could, no need for guns, no need for, obviously that's not what ever is on my side, but these gangster rappers. And we could just like solve things as men. And we haven't really seen that in a long time. But I will say this, if things do get too complicated, right? I'm down for, you ever heard of like we could do kind of like a triathlon, like, because I do think Lil Baby might be looking at like, yo, bro, like I'm kind of half retarded. I'm not about to fight you. So we could do a whole host of events. I'm down for it. And I think maybe he could win some, right? The boxing, I think he's getting clipped. Okay. All right. I'm going to knock them veneers out of his mouth. Okay. Okay. Listen, when I'm done with him, 4 PF is going to be mine. So I think the boxing I win. I think we could do a race. I'm trying to be even here, people. I think we could do a race. Got a little extra weight to me. He's pretty much skin, bones, and perks and lean. Maybe. You put a pint of lean down there with like 3 perk 30s and you dangle it. When they're trying to get the dogs to race, I'm pretty sure Lebebe will get to that finish line before me. Even though I'm Jamaican. I got Usain Bolt somehow influencing me. I'm Jamaican. We're the home of the sprinters. But if you put 3 perk 30s down there and a pint of lean, that crackhead might get down there even if he's slow as shit. He might be slow mentally, but that crackhead's gonna get down there. Trust and believe, okay? Trust and believe. I could see him beat me in a foot race. But I got other things we could compete at. I think if Lil Baby, if he wants to, we could do a best out of 7. 7 activities. Boxing, I'm telling you, knock him clean out. Clean. Okay? I'm even so confident. And y'all could clip this. I'm so confident. And I just don't think Lil Baby, I seen him do one thing, and I know some people say, you don't look the most athletic either, but I just don't think this nigga got hand-eye coordination. I think that's too much. Yo, it's like a computer running on goddamn Windows 98, not even XP, and it got to play one of these new games where people got to have a graphics card for $3,000. It's not going to work. Okay? So I just don't think his brain could compute. So I got 7 events. The boxing, I think I got it. And also, here's my challenge. Y'all can clip it. I'm so confident that Lil Baby cannot beat me in boxing. I don't know if it ends up being on brand risk, which I have, I think that's where it's going to be. If Aiden is down for this, I'm down for this. I say fuck it. Let's go to Atlanta and set up a ring in the middle of Lil Baby's hood and let's watch me knock out their hero. You say you the hero, I'll knock you out in the ring. It could be all the hood niggas around. After that, I'm getting my Atlanta card, and then afterwards, we're going to set up all the other, because there's mad niggas beefing in Atlanta. They got to get in the ring next. But listen, I'm down to do it just a ring in the hood. Straight up. Wherever Lil Baby's hood is. Straight up. Okay? Now, of course, we're going to find a way to make sure nobody got no guns. Because I ain't going to lie, that would be a very sad sight. Okay? All right. So I think I got the boxing. Racing, Lebebe got me. Put 4 perk 30s down there, a pint of lean, and maybe 2 Xanax bars, and this crackhead, he might gallop down there. That nigga's gonna be down there in a jiffy. Okay? So I think he might beat me. The next one, and this was just, I got it, I got the boxing. He got the race. The next thing we gotta do a spelling bee. Yup. That's what we gotta do. We won't even give him no 4-syllable words. We're gonna see if he can spell his name. We can see if he could read his contract. Like, we're gonna ask him regular shit, not some crazy. We're not gonna tell him to spell like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Not like that. We're just gonna like regular shit. Yo, Dominique, spell Dominique. He might spell like how Fabio Foreign did, Dominique. We don't know what he might do. Okay, spell Miami. He might spell mommy. We don't know. The guy is slow. I say the third thing should be a spelling bee. I think I got that one. Now, I could break it up and say a math test, a spelling test, a reading test, but that would be too much unfair shit, and I want to keep it real. So we got 3 events already. Okay? Now, I got to be honest. The next one going to be, I don't know, something with drugs. Like, what? Like, we got to go into his wheelhouse, too. How much pints of lean you could drink. And I only drink alcohol, so I ain't gonna lie. That should probably get in my stomach. I heard when you drink that type of stuff, it does something. I don't know what it does. How many perks you could pop. You feel what I'm saying? I think I'll concede. You got it. I don't even want to do that. I'm good. How much coke you could snort. Like, he do got some nostrils on him. That boy got some nostrils on him. Yeah, that boy could snort a whole lot. You gotta bring this nigga to Atlanta. No, you gotta bring him to Columbia. This nigga, this nigga, shit. I could see it for sure. For shit show. I could see it. Yeah, Broad no, baby. I'm good. Yeah, he could snort up the whole pow. I don't want no smoke with him. So I think we already 2 and 2. I got the reading test or the spelling bee, and I got the boxing. He got the race, and he got the drug taking. What else we finna do? We need 3 more. This is the Olympics. 7 events. We got to figure out best out of 7. Best out of 7. What's the other 3 things we going to do? You know what? Because I like being an underdog. Rapping. Bet. Lil Lack comes back out. Bet gets on the track. Okay? Sorry. At the end of the day, I know Lil Lack is one of the nicest I ever heard. Still legend in the streets. But that mush mouth mumbling and gargling that nigga does, it do sound fire. Well, he used to. So I'll say he beats me in the rapping. So that'll be 3-2. So you know what? I was going to choose for the next event, right? Yep, an eating contest. Yep, that's what we doing. Eating contest. That's what we doing. We ain't doing a mukbang, nigga. It's an eating contest, nigga. Straight out of like July 4th. Yo, listen, who could eat the most food? And that one. I'm taking home. Oh, Zempic, what? All right, nigga. Yo, let's get to it. Come on, man. Now we're at 6 events. He got 3. So he's won in racing, perk taking, and lean sipping. And the last one is rapping. I've won in a spelling bee, boxing, and what was the last one? Eating contest. Now the last thing, chat. Chat, you know what the last thing gonna be? And I think I win this. They put me and Lil Baby in a mall, and they give us $1,000 and see who could get a bitch. He only paid for pussy. He paid $10,000, $20,000. I'm gonna go get a fly fit. I know I ain't got that much game, but I'm gonna do something. Who could fuck a bitch without paying? I think I went on that. There's about 30 bitches who's exposing this nigga for paying for pussy. This nigga's a serial pussy purchaser. For paying for pussy, bought bags. Yo, bitch asked this nigga for a Rolls Royce Spectre, man. I never seen some shit. Yo, a what? She said, if you can't get that, nigga, get me that new Porsche 911, nigga. Yo, you looked up the price at $700,000. Yep, I think I win that too. I'm sorry. I win that too. Yeah, we gonna do a 1v20. Yeah, we both gonna do a 1v20, see who bagged the most. Yeah, I think I beat him on that too. Come on, man. I think I got it. Those are the events, and I think we should get to it. All right. I'm still reading donations here. Thank you, guys. Podcast was sold. Thank you, my boy. It says, yo, it never stopped. Yo, shout out to my man Soul, man. I said Soul. Soul G or Sean G, you know what I mean? He's fucking, he's relentless. One thing I like about him, his coverage of the Diddy case, and I'm so glad he went. He uses his platform to break down a lot of, misnomers and things that people are thinking about that just really just don't fit the narrative. And I do like, maybe slightly biased because I could tell and I don't know if he just rocks with Diddy or he's just like, you know what? after sitting through the trial, this shit's fucking bullshit. Like, I'm not gonna come out and kind of like pander and appease to whatever thing. He really doubles down and he points out consistent facts all the time. I'll bring him up again when we're talking about 50 Cent and Christian Combs. That is to come, because Christian Combs said something to 50 that was kind of, I mean, he tried to hit 50 with a gut shot, and I could tell Christian Combs was so upset. He was just tired of 50 talking shit. He's like, yo, you're mad over your baby mama. Like, the only thing I was gonna say about that, if I was Christian Combs, I was gonna say, nigga, I fucked her too. Like, hold on, I'm trolling. But like, if I'm Christian Combs, I gotta say that. You know why you gotta say that? Because like, if we're believing that 50 has like this sore spot for his baby mama getting the freak offs ran on her, you gotta throw it in there. Like, nigga, you know, I fucked her too, nigga. Like, she got that warm mouth. Like, you gotta just lie, right? You know? Okay, all right. Okay. Yo, Sean G got this thing. He's like, funny blue jacket. He been on 50 Cent's head. All right, Maurice Lombardo, thank you for the two. It says, AJ ain't punched Ty Lil. Bad representation. Pack him up. What? It's Panda. It's a thing for the 5. It says, during the Warren Strike days, was Durk's name the 5-star general? Yep, it was. It was. Wait, are you asking me this like we're on a stand? Huh? Oh, you're saying that's the type of questions they might ask to kind of, you know, like put motive. Oh, damn. Somebody said, there's a huge update in Fulio's murder case. Thank you for that. I'm going to add it to the list. Fulio murder case. I know Alicia Andrews, there was a big thing in appeal where something for her got reversed. You know, she got like 10 years, or I forgot how many years it was. Something negligible in comparison to like what they give people for murder in Florida. They give people mandatory life. So she got like 10 years, and she still appealed that. And apparently that appeal is kind of like, you know, I don't know if it's a full appeal went, but parts of it was successful. I'll get into it later. Somebody said, I'm warm on a Saturday night, man. I'll come through when the party/event is over. Okay. Somebody says, what the fuck did you have on at the game, cuz? Wait, bro, I didn't have that shit on? Yo, bro, like, yo, chat, could you, all right, you know what? Before I go to the next joint, y'all want to style me type shit? Y'all want to style me? That's what y'all want to do? And JW Phil says, call Metro. Okay. All right, thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right, hold on. I'm checking on Kick. Shout out to all my people on Kick. 1,900 strong. We're almost kind of like averaging like good. By the way, Kick has no ads. I do want to let you guys know that. And we're almost at 40,000 subscribers over there too. So we're kind of kicking. Let's see. Activity feed. I'm filtering to. Oh, I just want to see subs. Okay, Gussie, thank you for the gifted sub. Starboard 504, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. And Skills on Beat, I shouted you out early. Thank all you guys. Let me see what's going on with Rumble.
So, NBA Youngboy has 12 kids, and he has 2 more on the way. I ain't gonna lie, gang. YB, he's making his own team. You feel me? 12 kids, probably like 10 BMs, 11 BMs. Like, that's what he's supposed to do. Like, Malu Trevejo said that she was pregnant at one point. Another girl said that she was pregnant. Like, YB is disciplining a baby in all these women, bro. And I will never forget the interview. He said that he doesn't really care about being a father. He just likes to, you feel me? Yeah. But let me know how you guys feel about all of this. Do you think NBA Youngboy will pass 20 kids by the end of 2025? Or will he do it in 2026? Because we know he's about to have like 4 or 5 kids a year minimum. So we will see.